Good morning, Geometry iPad Initiative class students from OHS. This is your teacher, Mr. Lane. We are discussing section 3.1, lines and angles this week. So I hope you're ready for another fun and exciting lesson. I'm going to start this one off with a little rhyme, so if you guys could, go ahead and drop me a beat. Section 3.1, angles and lines. They would parallel, perpendicular, and skew lines. How you like them rhymes? I'm just kidding, I can't really do that. So we will be discussing parallel, perpendicular, and skew lines today with identifying the angles formed by two lines and a transversal. You will have to do a little rhyme to make sure that you memorize all those angles that are formed by the transversal for your number 5. But let's go ahead and get on to the next page and get started here. So we got some definitions on this page. It's parallel lines, two lines that do not intersect and are coplanar. So they got to be coplanar and they cannot intersect to be parallel lines. Skew lines also do not intersect, but they are not coplanar, so I couldn't fit a sheet of paper that would fit both of those lines. And then parallel planes, well, that's going to be similar to parallel lines in that they don't intersect. So if two planes, two pieces of paper, if we can think of a box, you know, the top and the bottom of the box would be examples of parallel planes. And we got some perpendicular lines down here. They are just two lines that intersect to form a 90-degree angle. So they would be coplanar lines. So those are definitions we're going to have to learn. We got an example here. Example 1 says, think of each segment in the figure as part of a line. Which lines or planes fit the description? So we have lines parallel to line CD and containing point A. So if we look at the picture, we can find line CD, and we've got to be parallel to CD, and we got to contain the point A. So it looks to me like we could have one right on this edge that is going to be in the same plane because it sets on top right here, but it's not going to intersect ever with CD. So I would say that line AB would be parallel to line CD. Now it wants us to find a skew line to CD that contains point A. So I'm going to erase my old work here real quick. Alright, so here's CD again. It's marked in the picture for us. Here's our point A, and now we want one that wouldn't be in the same plane, so we wouldn't want it to be on this top right here. So we're looking for other lines that go through point A that wouldn't be able to be fit on a sheet of paper with line CD. So it looks like this line right here would never intersect with line CD, and I couldn't fit that on the same sheet of paper. So I could name line AG or GA. Okay. And then it looks like there would be another one that comes up from H through A. So I think I could name a line HA that would also cross through A. That would be skew with CD. So there'd be a couple of them there. I'm going to go ahead and erase that work now, and let's talk about the next one. And the next one says lines that would be perpendicular to CD and contain a point A. So perpendicular, remember, forms a 90-degree angle. You can see that some of them are marked in the red box here on the diagram. So that means that they form a 90-degree angle at that intersection. So again, I want to cross through point A, and it looks like right through there I would need to go to form that right angle in the diagram. So it looks like my line that would contain both of those would be line AD. And it looks like we got one left here. It says that we want planes parallel to plane EFG. Remember, when we name a plane, we just name 3 collinear points on that plane, and that is containing point A. So let's find that plane that we're looking for to be parallel to. So we have EFG, which looks to be the bottom of the box, and so it looks like the top of the box is the plane that would be parallel to that, because they would never intersect. So we can name it several different ways. I'm just going to name it plane, and then I'm just going to go ADC. I could go ABC, so yeah, we'll just name it ABC. That way we'll go alphabetical and keep it nice, plain and simple. So, and that's pretty much it for example 1. Let's go on to the next page. Looks like the regular geometry class at this point would be doing 2, 4, 14, and 16 from page 148. Let's move on for the iPad class here. And it looks like we've got several definitions going to happen at this point here. So we got a transversal, which is a line that intersects 2 or more coplanar lines at different points. So it looks like I've got one of these lines that intersects 2 of the lines. So that's going to be how we pick out our transversal. So it looks like this line right down the middle there, nice straight mark by myself, is going to be the transversal because it intersects this line and this line. Okay, and then I got notes down here that says what would be the interior of the 2 lines that is cut by the transversal. So these would be the 2 lines, and remember, interior is like the inside of your house. So angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 would be the interior angles of that diagram. Now it says and what would be the exterior? Well, the exterior is kind of like the outside of your house. So on the outside would be angles 1, 2, 7, and 8. And that will come in handy as we move on through the lesson. The first type of angles formed by a transversal cutting 2 lines is going to be called a corresponding angles. And what these are angles that have corresponding positions. So over here we've kind of color coordinated it, and we can think of this as like 2 different traffic lights that we come to, you know, as we're cruising downtown Ottawa or something. As we come to this, if something's on the upper left hand corner of those 2 intersections, then those would be corresponding angles because they're in the same position or location of those 2 intersecting lines. Notice that 2 and 6 would also be a pair of corresponding angles, and also 8 and 4 would be, and also 3 and 7 would be. So just like I have them color coordinated here, all those different colors would represent a different pair of corresponding angles. Must memorize that, so focus on it and study it for a minute. Alright, the next thing we're going to discuss is alternate interior angles. Just like it says, alternate is going to mean opposite sides of the line, interior is going to mean on the inside of the house or inside of these 2 lines. So again, I've color coordinated on this page. Notice that 3, well, if I go to the alternate side and on the inside would be 6. So 3 and 6 would be alternate interior angles. And then also I'd have one more set, which would be the 5 and the 4. So angles 5 and 4 would be what we call alternate interior angles. So we're going to flip on to the next page real quick here and discuss the next one, which is alternate exterior angles. Now remember, alternate is still going to mean opposite sides of this transversal, but we're going to be on the outside because it's exterior angles. So looks like I should have left a couple of these out of here, but I guess you're not going to see the blue marked. So we've got angles 1 and angles 8 now are going to be alternate exterior angles. Also, there's one more pair which would be on the outside, which would be the 2 and the 7. So those 2 would be a pair of alternate exterior angles. Another set of angles here that we can discuss is same side interior angles. Same side interior angles are both going to be on the same side of the transversal, but and then interior meaning on the inside of the house or inside of the two lines again. So 4 and 6 are color coordinated there to be same side interior angles, and also 3 and 5 would be same side interior angles. So make sure you study those for a minute. And then we got another example here is identify all pairs of angles of the given type. So corresponding angles, looking at the picture over here, I know that I'm going to have 4 sets of corresponding angles. So I just pick out one to begin with. So angle 1 here, its corresponding angle is going to be on the same location of the intersection, which would be angle 5. And then I'm going to say angle 2 and angle 6 would be in its corresponding location. And then also there'd be 3 with 7 and 4 with 8. Now alternate interior, well, I just want to pick one out to begin with, so I'm going to say 2. And if I go on the other side of the transversal and stay on the inside, it's going to match up with angle 7. So angle 2 and angle 7, there'd be one more set, which would be angle 4. And I go to the other side of the transversal, stay on the inside, would be angle 5. Alternate exterior, so now I'm on the outside, so I'm going to choose one, go on the opposite side of the transversal on the outside, would be angle 1 with angle 8. And then stay on the outside, match it up with angle 3 and angle 6. And then we've got one more last one to do here, which looks like same side interior angles. So we're on the inside. I'm just going to pick one of the inside angles, stay on the same side of the transversal, stay on the inside, which would be angle 4 and angle 7. And then we got angle 2 with angle 5. And that's all for that example. Regular geometry class would be doing 6, 8, 18, and 20 from page 148. So let's see. I think we're actually pretty close to done. So we're supposed to just classify each type of angles here. So I'm going to push this a little bit and try and wrap this section up. Looks like they're at the same position on the two intersections, so that's going to be corresponding angles. We're just going to abbreviate that just like so. These are on the outside, which tells me that it's exterior, and they're on opposite sides, so that's alternate. So I'm going to put alternate exterior angles. These are on the inside, so I know it's interior. They're on the opposite side, so that's alternate again. So alternate interior angles. So pause and rewind as necessary here. I think we've got one more type that we're supposed to identify the transversal and classify each pair of angles. So we've got angles 2 and angles 5. So I'm going to think that this one here, I'm going to mark in red so we can see it, would be our transversal. So, and let's just call that L so that we can name it. So L is the transversal, and then those would be the same side and on the inside. So we're going to say same, oops, misspelled that, same side interior angles. 1 and 3 is next. So it looks like our transversal would be right there where the black line now is, which we'll call M. So M's our transversal, and those would be corresponding angles. So we're going to abbreviate again. And the last pair here would be 3 and 6, which kind of out of colors, so we're just going to go right here. Looks like the purple there, we'll name it N. So that's line N for the transversal. and then those would be also corresponding angles. So this is Mr. Lane signing off from OHS High School. Have a good day.